Now, if there's one thing that we all can agree upon, is the fact that Anora is an absolutely beautiful film. It is indeed Sean Baker's magnum opus. It might not be his best film. I still believe that that is the Florida Project, but I feel like it's his most important film to date. It's the movie that's going to put him on the map. Now, the one thing that Anora does perfectly, which I feel like a lot of movies struggle with nowadays, is that it managed to nail the perfect ending. I personally have always felt that a movie that leaves you with something to think about is the one movie that you will never forget. It will always remain with you wherever you go, and I feel like Sean Baker hit the sweet spot. Now, spoilers, guys, if you haven't watched Anora, I'm just gonna dive into the ending here. Now, after we've been on this incredible journey with Anora, the wedding finally happened and things just start going haywire. We get to the point where she actually has to give up her marriage and sign the annulment, So when we get to this point, I feel like this is where Sean Baker does his best work, because the moment Egole gets tasked in taking Anora back home, that's when the movie just feels a little uneasy and you don't know in which direction the movie can go, because Egole and Anora go back to the mansion and they have this conversation. Now, Sean Baker has this ability, just to have an ordinary conversation, and then you kind of get distracted a little, but then when it really hits you with the dialogue, that's where you realize the brilliance of his writing. Now, in this particular scene, Annie alludes to the fact that Egole wanted to rape her, and now Egole immediately declines this. He's like, no, I never wanted to do that. And that's where you actually realize that Egole is a very good guy, and I feel like he has always been the surprise package in this movie, because it's always just been there in scenes, and the way he looks at Annie, you might think that maybe that is the direction that he wanted to go or something that he wanted to do, but in actual fact that he is just a laid back guy. He just wanted to make sure that Annie is okay as she goes through this entire thing. Now, it's only when he takes her home after going to the bank and they stop at the front door, and there's something here that just, the way this whole scene plays out is when Annie finally reaches her breaking point, We've gone on this entire journey with Annie, and we never actually, she's always had a guard up, she's always portrayed this tough character, because that's in the industry she works in. She's always had to portray this type of, persona. So finally seeing her reach breaking point, and for this to happen at the end of the movie, I think it's very thought-provoking, and it leaves you with something to think about. Like, this is one of the great endings in cinema. It kind of reminds me of, Inception, how we never know if the totem actually stopped, and it's brilliant, and it's the type of ending that just elevates the material. The movie is a good movie, but I feel like when we get to this part of the movie, it just elevates the movie to greatness. I mean, at the end of the day, Annie is such a likable character, brilliantly portrayed by Mikey Madison, and at some point we actually forget that Annie is a sex worker, and when Egole gives the ring back, her way of thanking him is by initiating this, and it's only when Egole decides to kiss her that she actually comes to the realization that, what, I am not okay, and it's okay not to be okay. And for this to be the last sequence of the movie, it's the perfect ending. It just ties everything together neatly, and it leaves you with something to think about. This is Sean Baker at his very best. Look, guys, please let me know what you guys think about the ending of Anora. I personally believe it's the perfect ending, and it's the type of ending that a lot of movies can learn something from, guys. It is incredible the way this movie plays out. You know, just when you think things are coming to an end, Sean Baker decides to hit you with a gut punch, and I feel like that is brilliant cinema. Please let me know what you guys think. Catch you on the next video. Journey of the Roach.